I'm moving college kids. I'm in their dorm. I'm in their apartment. And then parents would say things. And there was one other situation, a lady said, now, make sure you stay in school so that when you finish, you don't have to do this for the rest of your life. And the guy, and one of my employees was with me because, we were starting out early, right? The guy with me is like, this is his company. And her face was like bloodshot red.
We look at online business particularly, and really this fits any business, whether you're doing business online or you're running a local business like we did. You're going to be in one of 6 stages, right? So we call this our success path, and it's part of what we offer inside the Business Lounge. And so the success path breaks everything down into the validation stage. So you're validating, right? That's the first stage. Then you go on to launch. Then you're in the hustle stage. And that's where you're just really making sure that you understand who your customer is. You're working with those people, getting that feedback, growing your audience, figuring out how to build a list, how to market to them, how to get the word out, how to get visibility. And then you're graduating into the breakthrough stage. And that's where things are starting to actually come together. You're building your business, you're building the foundational aspects of the business. And then you move on to the profit stage. Things are growing, you're hiring more people, things are really going well, and you're looking at a lot of leadership skills. You're looking at penetrating the market in different ways, and then you finally reach scale. And so oftentimes when we're in this process of building a business, the first 3 stages, when you're in the launch, the validation, or the hustle stage, you're simplifying the strategy. It's usually just you, right? You don't have a big team. You probably don't have a lot of time. You're maybe building it on the side, or you're working with a limited amount of clients, or you have a full-time job, or you're juggling mommy duties or daddy duties while, you're building your business during nap time. And all of those things are scenarios that we see all the time in our community, inside the Business Lounge membership, inside our programs. And so we want you to know that it's okay. If not, it's really, truly just necessary to simplify your strategy. It's really hard to do that when you have so many amazing people, experts, authors, established entrepreneurs giving you advice on the internet about a gazillion different strategies, right? There's so much opportunity that we have opportunity overload. There really isn't a better time than now, this era, even when we started, Chris. The resources that we have today are mind-blowing to start a business in comparison to what we had to deal with. I remember we didn't even have a drag and drop builder for WordPress. I would spend 15, 18 hours in a weekend just trying to
for one page.
literally just trying to edit the HTML and the CSS of one little thing on my header for my website. I mean, the struggle was real. There was no drag and drop builder. There was no Squarespace. There was no Kajabi. There was no Teachable. All of these tools are new. And I remember feeling so overwhelmed when I first started the business and trying to figure out how do I juggle all of this and make it happen. But simplicity was what really helped me, was tuning out the noise and being okay, I'm not going to be on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm not going to do a podcast and a YouTube channel and a blog. I'm not going to try to do all these things. I'm going to focus on one core platform where I can get the message out about my business. I'm going to learn as much as I possibly can about our clients and customers. And I'm just going to take it one step at a time, right? One foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So credit to you. I want to mention, because guys, this is something that's really profound. And I remember when Kim came up with the idea for the success path, and I was like, this is exactly what's missing. There's so many people that they're committed to it. They're really committed to doing the things, going through the programs, and they've spent, I'm telling you, we come across people all the time in TBL, in the Business Lounge, in the membership, that have spent $20,000 on a coach, and they've got all this random information, but they didn't have a plan.
Right.
And so I remember when Kim came up with a success path, and now everybody has a success path. So, but I will vouch, I will say to my knowledge, Kim was the first person I was aware that had
Listen. It has been imitated a million times. It's never been replicated. It's never been replicated. We have the best success path in the entire industry, period, and a story. Yes. Every single one of our customers says so. I mean, I'm just saying, I feel very confident in this. Like anyone
Yeah.
can like go for it. Go for
Yeah,
it.
but it really is a game changer. It's like, imagine if you signed up for school
Yeah.
and you're 5 years old, and then you just have everything from kindergarten to college in their
Yeah.
library that you could check out. It's like, well, of course it's going to be overwhelming. You're 5 years
Yeah.
old. Like,
Yep.
there's
You're
advanced level
5 years
stuff
old.
here, and that's so unfortunately what we're doing to people is they see all these advanced marketing strategies and all this funnel hacking and all these things, which things are you could
Those
eventually
are
be
great.
doing. But
Right.
the problem is, and we have people that they have something that goes viral on TikTok. Millions, I mean, seriously, millions of
Views.
views or whatever the case may be, right? On a particular whatever post. And they don't have a single any way to convert. There's no call to action. There's no follow up. There's no automated email sequences. There's nothing.
Right.
And and a lot of the times they're like, it was a completely missed opportunity in those cases, right? Or they're putting so much time into social media, and it's like, I get it, I totally get it. That's what other people are doing. That's what you're replicating. But we also have to, Kim says it best. She'll say, we went from direct response marketing, which is the basis by which all of this is built upon. All these email automated sequences, all the things we're talking about is built upon old school direct response marketing, right? Now what we've done is, Kim says, we went to no response marketing.
Yeah.
We're just putting stuff out for engagement and likes and whatever. But there's no ask, there's no funnel, there's no reason, there's no rhyme or reason for doing it. And we have elaborate hobbies. And I know that's hard to hear, but we have really elaborate hobbies in a lot of cases. And I think we had the benefit of building something offline first. And I always say this, that like, don't be ashamed if you need to roll up your sleeves and do some one-on-one stuff and like prove your concept before you take it online. It's totally fine.
That should be a serious requirement. It's not that, don't feel bad about it. You should be working with people one-on-one.
100%. And I think that's when I said don't skip the steps. I think that is part of the steps. Is the in the trenches, the most basic iteration of what you can do is that, right? And it's gonna suck. Like, actually, Brendan Burchard says this. I'll give him credit for it because it's a great statement that he said. He said people are not afraid to chase their dreams. They're afraid to be seen getting started.
Oof, what a truth.
I thought about my journey and this first business we were talking about, which was a moving company that evolved into installation work across the country, and it just took off for fully furnished student housing apartments. I remember, I'm out of school, I'm early, my early to mid 20s or whatever at this point, and I'm moving college kids. I'm in their dorm. I'm in their apartment, right? And I'm like, oh, this is not what I went to school for, but here I am, right? And then parents would say things like, I remember one specific time, this mother said, she's like, so is this what you do like all the time, or like, do you have a job and do this? And then I was like, oh, I do this all the time. And there was one other situation, a lady said, now make sure you stay in school so that when you finish, you don't have to do this for the rest of your life. And the guy, and one of my employees was with me because, we were starting out early, right? So I would hire one guy and I do the move with that guy because saving money on
that's
that,
what we
right?
got.
Like,
That's what we got to do.
I was out there doing the moves. I did hundreds of moves myself. And the guy with me is like, this is his company. And her face was like bloodshot red. But we were out there, man. We were out there rolling up our sleeves, getting in the trenches. And I really credit, right, what happened thereafter, which was rampant growth, like multiple seven figures within 36 months. So 3 years, right? Really quick growth. Mid-20s just exploded. But it was because it was one move at a time. It was one customer at a time.
That's right.
It was then, how do we scale this? And it was, okay, blogging seems to really drive traffic. Let's do a blog. And guys, that's all we did. In fact, I had to like dial Kim back and be like, we can't take any more business, because that blog that I started doing 3 a week, just really writing what I knew people were searching for and then verifying it at that point on Google Webmaster Tools, right? Now you could use things like Uber Suggest, but like, what are people searching for? That's logical. How do I interface that search with my blog? Perfect. And then all we had was one opt-in form to get a request for a move. And next thing you know, I'm getting like hundreds and hundreds of move requests coming through just because we're ranking, just because people are finding our content in one little tiny town of 100,000 people.
Right. So like one simple strategy.
One simple strategy.
One simple service. Yeah. One service, one strategy, one funnel. That's it. That's all you really need to get started and really see significant growth. And because we have so many of our listeners are in the service space, listen, y'all, we have done this multiple times. Chris, with his first business in the service space locally, moving company, and later on that evolved into a furniture installation service. Me with my social media marketing agency, and then moving into consulting and now doing course creation. We've kind of done everything when it comes to building a business and doing it sustainably. Yeah. And we've been where you're at. You got to start with one simple process. That is the easiest and fastest way to get results. Go ahead, Chris.
And yours was the exact same. Social media, just pitching yourself, going around.
Absolutely.
Look, out what little money we had left.
First time I pitched a client, y'all, this is a true story. I don't think we've ever talked about this. I'm glad you're bringing this up, Chris. Chris and I were dating, and we were dead broke. When I'm telling you dead broke, we're dead broke. We were like literally like
and that was counting, a good day that we had $20.
Absolutely. I mean, we were getting right out of college. I was actually still in college. It was intense. And so
But you had taken out money to help me, which don't ever let your parents hear this.
Mom, I hope you're not listening to this episode.
Like part of her student loan, or like took an additional part of her loan to like help, because I was like, it's gonna work, like whatever. And yeah, so we were pretty broke on top of debt.
I took a business. Oh my gosh, yeah, and the business, the personal loans they were supposed to be for books and like school stuff. It was like $2,000 I put right back into the business. Mom, if you're listening, Chris paid me back, but the business paid me back. It took a few years. And I remember that I was like, listen, I'm going to have to get a job at the mall, like at the pretzel place, just so that I can make rent, because I can't keep counting on us potentially getting some moves to pay my bills. So I did that, and it was horrible. Like, it was literally one of the worst jobs I've ever had. I was lifting 50-pound bags of flour, and a year before I had had a car accident. Some illegal immigrant crashed into the back of the car I was driving, which was my friend's in Chicago, and he didn't have insurance. It was this whole debacle. Anyway, I got my back just destroyed. And when I say destroyed, I'm exaggerating a little bit. Nothing was broken, but it was severe scar tissue that I had from that accident. And I couldn't walk for a few.
It did not feel like a normal back.
Right. I could not walk for a few weeks. It was horrible. So anyway, I was lifting these 50-pound bags of flour at work every day, making minimum wage, $7.25, I think it was, an hour. And I was hustling. I was like, I don't care. I'm going to show up for this job, and I'm absolutely going to do the best that I can. And my coworkers were just like hanging out, like not paying attention while I was taking care of the customers and trying to honor the store owner. Well, a couple of weeks go by, and I can barely walk into work because it hurts so much. And she's so impressed with the work that I'm doing. She's super complimentary, and she's like, hey, I'm going to give you a raise. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I'm excited. I'm at least getting a raise this quickly. When I see my next paycheck, the raise was 25 cents an hour. Boom. And I was like, Chris, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. There has to be a better way. So literally that night I got home, went to Craigslist, and started typing in social media marketing internship just to see like what kind of people are out there who are wanting to hire someone who does social media. So I found a list of contacts and I applied for the position. And then I was like, hey, I really want to create a portfolio of all the things that I've been doing with the moving company so I can show this potential client. And you were amazing. You were like, I'm going to go print this out for you. And I was like, no, we're broke. We can't do that. Chris spent literally like the last $20 in his bank account to go to Kinko's and print out a physical portfolio that I could leave with a client. When I saw that he did that, y'all, I almost cried. And so the next day, I pitched the client. When he saw that I had a physical portfolio, he freaked out, hired me on the spot, and I was able to get my first client. And so through that process, I actually started building my business as a way to pay for school and not be broke. And that eventually evolved into having a full-blown social media marketing company. And so we've been through all that struggle. We've been through the ringer. And when I tell you that, we mean it. There's a million stories that we want to share with you, but we want to still give you some practical tools, simplify. And the next thing I think that's really important, Chris, that we talk about is stabilizing your income, stabilizing your finances. You don't have to burn the boats and just quit your 6-figure job to start a business when you have no idea what you're going to sell or how that process is going to work. You don't have someone who's going to guide you and help you through that process. And we actually had a coaching client 2 months ago who did just that, right? She quit her 6-figure job and hired a business coach, paid $10,000, and really had very little to show for it. Now, we're not saying that business coaching is a bad thing. We are business coaches and we love helping other people really break through in their business. What I'm saying though is that you have to give yourself some time, do some research. Again, going back to having a plan. When you are going through, Chris, you always say this. What is your saying? Is it urgency, not desperation?
Yeah, that's what you're looking for. You know, we were in desperation mode. When you're spending your last $20 so you can go pitch yourself, like, imagine the pressure that not only I'm under because I just spent the last of our money. Like if Kim doesn't get that, now we could reuse it, right? But like that's so much pressure on Kim to get that job. And thank God it worked out. But what if it hadn't, you know?
Right.
And people, now it sounds cool. And there are times when you have to be all in. There are times.
But honestly, we were college students. We could afford to be all in.
Right.
When you're
Limited
a mom,
expenses,
when you're a dad, like when you have like adult responsibilities, it's different.
Yeah.
Hey, so if you're wondering what's the next step or you want to work with me and my team, I highly recommend checking out these 3 awesome resources. Number 1, you're going to want to download our Success Path, which is going to show you exactly what stage of online business you're in. Spoiler alert, there's 6 of them, and what to be working on and not working on for each stage so that you can get to your goals faster and with more clarity. Number 2, you're going to want to come and listen to the Business Lounge podcast, where we dive even deeper every single week into advanced business and marketing strategies that you won't hear about here on the channel. And of course, number 3, you're going to want to join us inside the Business Lounge membership, where me and my business partner, Chris, we coach and train online entrepreneurs on how to leverage proven and practical business and marketing strategies to level up your business, attract more buyers, and actually create a business that you absolutely love. You're not going to want to miss it. We have over 30 training programs, an entire success path. What you're getting right now for free is just a preview. And we go live every single month to teach you on a new topic, answer your questions, and coach you one-on-one. Plus, we're about to release something incredible, depending on whether or not you are already a part of the membership, or when you're watching this video, we might have already released it. If so, it's going to be linked in the description box below, but it's pretty amazing. It's only for members for now. All right, I love you, and I hope to see you inside one of those amazing resources. Until next time, un beso. See you soon.